Good morning, and welcome to Charles Travels, the podcast where we explore the heart of America, one story at a time. I'm your host, Charles, and I'm glad you're joining me today. As we begin our journey together, let's take a moment to appreciate the changing landscape of our world. A recent article in the Japan Times caught my eye, and I think it's worth sharing with all of you. The question posed is one that resonates deeply. Can the world handle having fewer moms? Imagine walking through a quiet town where the sound of children's laughter is becoming increasingly rare. This is the reality we're facing as global birth rates continue to decline. According to demographers at the United Nations, the number of humans on Earth will begin shrinking as soon as 2080. This shift has significant implications for society, particularly for women, who are often at the heart of family and community. As I traveled across America, I've seen firsthand how this trend is affecting small towns and rural areas. The decline in birth rates is not just a numbers game, it's about the people and stories behind those numbers. It's about the young mother who chooses to have one child instead of 3, or the couple who decides not to have children at all. This shift away from motherhood is happening slowly but surely, transcending cultural norms and geographical boundaries. It's a source of growing concern, with over half of Americans now saying that fewer people choosing to have children would negatively impact the United States. As we ponder this question, let's take a moment to appreciate the beauty of everyday life and the dignity of ordinary work. The role of mothers in our society is multifaceted, and their contributions are invaluable. From teaching and nurturing to working and caring for loved ones, mothers are the backbone of many communities. The need for cultural changes to support mothers is growing, and it's essential that we acknowledge this shift and work towards creating a more supportive environment for families. As we navigate this changing landscape, let's remember the importance of tradition, community, and human connection. We'll be right back with more fascinating travel adventures on Charles Travels. Welcome back to Charles Travels. As we continue our journey across this great nation, I'd like to take you to a place where the sounds of nature and the rhythm of hard work come together in perfect harmony. Today, we're going to talk about measuring success not in clicks or likes, but in trees still standing tall. I had the pleasure of reading an inspiring interview with Willie Schubert, the man behind Mangabe's English language newsroom. His story is one of passion, dedication, and a commitment to telling the stories that need to be told. From his early days at National Geographic to his current role at Mangabe, Willie has always been driven by a desire to make a real impact. As I listened to his words, I couldn't help but think of the countless individuals who are working tirelessly to protect our environment, often without recognition or reward. People like Willie remind us that journalism is not just about reporting the news, but about telling stories that can change the world. Willie's journey took him from the corridors of National Geographic to the forests of Madagascar, where he worked with local journalists to tell the stories that needed to be told. He helped build a global community of environmental reporters, many of whom are based in the global south. Together, they've created a network of data-driven outlets that have helped to halt plantation expansion and protect indigenous communities. What struck me most about Willie's story is his emphasis on trust and persistence. In an era where clicks and likes often dominate our conversations, it's refreshing to hear someone talk about the importance of building relationships and working together towards a common goal. As I reflect on Willie's words, I'm reminded of the beauty of everyday life and the dignity of ordinary work. The people who are making a real difference in this world are not always the ones who seek the spotlight. They're often the ones who are quietly working behind the scenes, driven by a passion for their craft and a commitment to leaving the world a better place than they found it. As we take a moment to appreciate the work of people like Willie Schubert, I'm reminded of the importance of taking the back roads and slowing down to appreciate the beauty that surrounds us. In a world that's increasingly fast-paced and driven by technology, it's easy to forget the value of human connection and the power of individual stories. So let's take a deep breath and remember that success is not just about achieving our goals, but about the positive impact we have on the world around us. Let's celebrate the people who are working tirelessly to protect our environment and let's support their efforts in any way we can. Stay tuned for our final story of the day, right here on Charles Travels. We'll be exploring more of America's hidden gems and meeting the people who are making a real difference in their communities. Until then, thank you for joining me on this journey, and I look forward to sharing more stories with you soon. Welcome back to Charles Travels. As we conclude our journey today, I'd like to take you to the coast of Venezuela, where a different kind of story is unfolding. It's a tale of claims and counterclaims, of politics and perception. The Trump administration has been making headlines with its assertions about drug boats off the Venezuelan coast, labeling those involved as narco-terrorists, smuggling deadly drugs into the United States. As I delve into this story, I'm reminded of the complexities of international relations and the power of narrative in shaping our understanding of the world. The administration's claims have been met with skepticism by officials and locals alike, who paint a more nuanced picture of the situation. It's a reminder that truth is often multifaceted and context-dependent. As we explore this story, I'm struck by the human element that underlies it. Behind the headlines and political rhetoric, there are individuals and communities affected by these claims. Families separated, lives disrupted, and futures uncertain. It's a powerful reminder of the importance of empathy and understanding in our globalized world. As I reflect on this story, I'm also reminded of the dignity of ordinary work and the beauty of everyday life. The people who live and work along the Venezuelan coast are not just pawns in a larger geopolitical game. They are individuals with their own stories, struggles, and triumphs. They are fishermen, merchants, and families trying to make a living and build a better future for themselves. As we conclude our journey today, I'm left with more questions than answers. What is the truth behind these claims? How do we separate fact from fiction in a world where information is increasingly politicized? And what does this story reveal about the complexities of international relations and the human condition? These are questions that I'll continue to explore on Charles Travels as we journey through the diverse landscapes and communities of America and beyond. Thank you for joining me on this journey today. Remember to like, share, and subscribe. And until next time, keep on traveling. That's all for today's Charles Travels. Remember to like, share, and subscribe. And until next time, keep on traveling.